Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Pedro Vasquez, and I'm here for episode 4, the second half of my military career. And today, I have some good beer, good food, and I got a little feedback. So I really appreciate the feedback that I got about showing a little more about the food, talking a little more about the food, and so I'm pretty excited about that. Um, Today I have some Texas Twinkies. I made some brisket, made some corn with some. He did some a drizzle of sour cream, and then threw on some salsa, and then some mashed potatoes, some garlic and Parmesan mashed potatoes with some chives. But I have some amazing beers, and kind of want to show you a couple of them. The first one is the Wild Blue Yonder. I can never get that right. Blue Yonder is out of Castle Rock. Really good. Veteran, veteran owned, veteran operated, and if you're ever in the area, go visit them. Really good beer. And this one's a Cool Haze IPA. You guys all know that I love IPAs. This one's already open. I've been already drinking. Then one from Texas from Freetail. Freetail's a pretty good brewery there, and it's Puro Picasso pickles. So it's a pickle beer, and it's a pickle gulch. So I'm excited to try this one. I haven't had it. I brought it back about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and downstairs my kids say that I have a total wine because I have tons of beers from everywhere. So I'm just kind of drawing from where I've been and whatnot. And then I got an IPA from Grand Canyon Brewery. Um, Good IPA, good solid IPA, crisp, clean, and I just love it. Again, I love IPAs, so I'm tempted to try this one more than anything. Got to kind of give it a little shake, because sometimes some of the sediment sets at the bottom. Um, but let's get to some of the food because I'm excited about this. This stuff is good. I don't know if you ever heard of Texas Twinkies, but Texas Twinkies are essentially a jalapeno popper, but with brisket on the inside. And since I made a brisket today for Father's Day, by the way, happy Father's Day to all the fathers, or to you motherfuckers, because you guys know. Come on, let's be realistic. Um, that's exactly what I have here. So let's go with the food. There's some brisket that is got a little moist cut there. You could tell with all the the fat. And here's another piece. Oh God, it's so good. See the little ring there. And then here's the jalapenos. They got brisket on the inside. I'll try to show you right there. Brisket, cheese, uh, also cream cheese, and I'll be taking a bite of one here in a minute. It's pretty good. But so let's get started. Uh, we talk about. I've been talking about my career and why, my whys, my career, and today's going to be no different. Today I'm going to be talking about um, just the last 10 years of my career, and it's definitely something that's unique. It's definitely something that I had a lot of fun and winding down from me going to where I wasn't even going to do the second 10 years of my career to me getting promoted, doing everything that I needed to do, and then getting in a little bit of trouble and losing the stripe. But we'll cover that here shortly. So I did a little quick pause. I apologize. But anyway, getting back to it, as I was talking, talking about towards the end of my career where I got in a little bit of trouble, and then I just decided to, just do 20 and not try to do anymore, not try to promote and get back to where I needed to be. I was pretty much done. Um, Before I go on, I want to tell you this is not a political channel. There may be some political stuff, but I'm not voting for Beto. You can see, you can read. Obviously, I think that dude's fucking. Well, anyway, we're not gonna get into that. So going into the second half of my career, I got orders to Korea, and Korea was a blast. I was there with some pretty good people, um, James Mejias being one of them, and had a great time. I don't think that there. Oh my God, there was a there was a time when we were in Korea, and it was my birthday weekend, and we had just had a birthday party. It was actually a month after we had gotten there, And for somehow, some way, I ended up being considered party time. I don't even understand how. Um, Barely fucking drink. Yeah, sure. And, just having a good time. Good old time. Um, and it started out on a Friday, which was December 5th, and we were celebrating another individual's birthday. But we had our Christmas party then. And I think within the first 45 minutes, we loaded the cake that they had there. And then we had so much soju, and we went downtown and we got back to our dorms. Kind of didn't really even take a nap or anything. Just got our bags, got ready, and then we caught the bus to Seoul. And then it was game on. Um, it was a nonstop weekend of drinking, having fun, and those are some of the best memories that I have. I mean, shit, it was like, who was that? Foley and Goyson and, you know, Mejias and Sully and holy fuck, man. It was my birthday weekend, so Saturday was my birthday, and I remember the majority of it. Actually, it wasn't Seoul. We actually went to Osan, and because I remember Rico talking all kinds of shit, and we just, God, that was 13, 14 years ago. That was a hell of a time to have. Lots to do, lots to see, but we were just there to just go drink some Amel bowls. If any of you guys have ever been to Korea and had an Amel bowl, like, it is phenomenal. It is nothing but soju and a little bit of juice and some ice. Well worth it. You ever go to Korea? Actually, I don't even think they have Amel bowls anymore. And it used to just be this big old punch bowl with a whole bunch of straws in it, and it was just packed with soju. It cost you like 20, 30 bucks, but you get like 7 or 8 guys, you chug it down. There was a little tradition where you couldn't stop sucking until it was all gone. There could be 2 of you guys on it, there could be fucking 30 of you guys on it, but it had to all be gone. And sometimes we, joke around and just take little sips here and there, but it never was like that. They brought an Amel ball out there, you guys were just taking it to the head. Fucked up times. So Korea was an amazing time. I was not a fan of Korea because I was a fan of Korea and the way it was, but my time there in Korea, I wasn't a fan of. We had an individual who was a chief who didn't let me come home to see the birth of my son, my third child, and he put a sour taste in my mouth, and hence the reason why I kind of wanted to be a first sergeant for the longest time. So the way it worked was we were going through an ORI, Operational Readiness Inspection, and this was chemical warfare games because of North Korea. Constantly donning on your masks, learning how, doing your job without um, without taking off your masks, and just war games essentially. And I had gotten there in November, and immediately when I got there, I had asked, hey, my kid's going to be born in April, and I got the approvals to get my tickets and everything else. So I bought my tickets. I was way ahead of the game, and I get there, and I still ask the questions. Yes, yes, yes. Come. Mm, we had gotten the time frame of when the ORI was going to be, and they said it was going to be in April, mid to late April. And I told them, I said, hey, I already had my tickets. Like, you guys assured me, and I immediately bought the tickets because I didn't want to, have to deal with this issue where it was a yes and no. And so come February, I'm still like, hey, am I still good? Yes, you're good, you're good, you're good. And then March rolls around. Towards the middle of March, hey, still good? Yeah, I don't know, we may have to have a discussion. Whoa, hold the fuck up. Like, what the fuck? I asked this fucking question, and this is the reason why I did this. So a week or two passes by, nearing April, and then I get called in. You have to, you have to change your tickets. We're not gonna let you go in. What the fuck, man? I'm about to have a kid. Like, I want to be there for the birth of my children or my child. He was pretty upset. He was like, but you have a mission here, blah blah blah. And I said, you know what? And at this point, there was a couple conversations back and forth beforehand, And at this point, this was kind of my breaking point. And one of my old supervisors is one of my buddies on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure he'll end up seeing this. But he was in there, and I absolutely asked the question, why? Why the fuck am I doing this when this is training? What would happen if I fucking died tomorrow? You wouldn't have an asset. Does it really matter? This is a birth of my child. This isn't real world. And I even brought up the example. I said, hey, I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan. Well, if you asked me while I was there or to go there and during my child's birth, yeah, absolutely. Real world shit, I'm fucking there. This motherfucker did not let me leave for an ORI, for operational readiness inspection. So I was pissed. Well, the day that my son was born was probably towards the end of the ORI. And I remember because I was sitting there and we were in what's considered HAZs, hardened air shelters. And there's a little trailer in the back, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck this, man. So I was on the phone, at the time, this was 2009, so there wasn't really great technology in terms of video cameras and everything, not mobile hotspots or any of that stuff. And we're in the middle of fucking an exercise, middle of the night, and I am on the phone, DSN, with my ex-wife having my baby. Well, at the time, she was my girlfriend having my baby. And, I'm listening to everything, and here comes quality assurance or EET or whatever you want to consider them. They came over and they were like pissed off that I wasn't in my mop gear and everything. And he was yelling at me, ready to threaten me to, essentially get an Article 15. And I said, fuck you guys. You guys can give me whatever you want. I'm on the phone with my girlfriend having my baby because I got denied. And that made it around, and people were like, oh no, don't fuck with him. Let him just fucking deal with that. Let him, be on the phone. And they let me for, a few hours to kind of deal with that, kind of handle that. And it was kind of stressful because it was just kind of bullshit. And that was one of the things that you want to become a first sergeant because you want to learn and you want to do things and you want to give back. And that was one of those things where I was just adamant, like, fuck this. Like, I want to fucking, be a first sergeant because I want to make sure that people don't fucking fuck people over like this. This was just ridiculous for a fucking training exercise. I get it, but I had already had this scheduled, 6 months in advance. And then you're going to tell me no because, oh, this is important. Fuck you guys, man. That shit wasn't important for fucking shit. We were going to pass regardless of whether I was there or not. I wasn't a fucking, essential personnel in terms of like the mission was going to make or break without me. Nah, it wasn't even fucking worth it. So I hop on a plane, get back, see my little kid. That motherfucker's 13 years old right now. He's one of the reasons why, this Happy Motherfuckers Day exists because of little guys like that. But he's doing really well. And, I mean, obviously he's not going to know any different, but my ex definitely made it a point to get upset because of that. But then moving forward, I get back to Korea, finish out my tours, and it was just a hell of a fucking time. It was a lot of partying. It was like going to Busan. You guys have never been to Busan, go. You can tell that I'm definitely, tatted up and stuff. And, we'd go down there, and at the time, tattoos weren't as prominent as they are now, or as noticeable, or whatever you want to consider it, and piercings. And I was on the beach walking around, and I'm all tatted up, and um, people were stopping. Koreans were stopping and taking pictures, and my buddies were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I don't even know, dude. Fucking whatever. Let's just fucking pound beers, and we get free beers and hang out and stuff." So it was definitely a good time. Definitely worth seeing. I mean, I got so many other stories, and when I meet up with some of these guys, you'll end up hearing some of the fucking stories of the nightlife, or us eating some just crazy ass food. I don't even know where the fuck to begin. And then I get stationed in Dyess Air Force Base, Texas, and I did 6.5 years there. Some amazing 6.5 years. Great time, great atmosphere. I love the people. I love the city, and I have some really good friends that I met out there from the military and from the civilian sector. And I when I got there as staff sergeant, and a lot of people were kind of wondering what the hell, because I always had my uniform pressed, my boots shined, all that shit. I was looking sharp all the time, and it was crazy because they looked at me like I was just a pretty boy and not even a worker. Didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I just had this conversation with a buddy of mine, um, Richard Clemens, Dick Clemens, um, and we had that conversation about when I first got there. I was talking to him, and he's like, "Dude, you were an asshole." And it wasn't that I was an asshole. All right, maybe I was an asshole. I mean, I am an asshole. You can't change that shit. But I just expected a lot from my people, and you expect a lot from me. I expect a lot from my people, and I wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page, doing the same things. And so as we're talking, we had a conversation the other day, and he was one of the ones that was kind of giving me some, pretty good constructive feedback. I remember this time frame where we were talking um, about how we were, I would have these guys work, and I wanted him on my crew. I wanted him on my team, and he absolutely, was like, hell yeah, uh, because we made shit happen. We did things. We launched out aircraft. We not launched them out, but we didn't personally launch them out. But these little motherfuckers would take off. And if you know anything about the B-1, I love that motherfucker. That thing is awesome. Um, Here, let me show you a little B-1 fucking thing. Here's a little B-1 flying by right now. See, look, check it out. See, look, see, we got some little afterburners that whatever. But it's a little DTD B-1. Anyway, whatever. I wanted to just show a little prop because that was my favorite aircraft by far. A lot of work, a lot of maintenance, but shit, it was good. And throughout the time that I was there, I had a blast from going out with different people, and running a shop of 110 people, to going TDY, going deploying and stuff. And it was always a good thing. It was always fun. Um, I remember having to make tough decisions there on who to deploy, who not to deploy, because we were a constantly deployed unit. We had C-130s and B-1s, and a lot of our guys were gone all the time. We had guys gone, um, 12 months out of the year, if not, longer. Um, Real quick, I'll try this pickle beer. We'll see how it looks, see how it tastes. Pickle juice. I'm a little nervous about it. It's supposed to be spicy, so cheers. That's pretty good. It's not even spicy. Wash it down with a little IPA too. Don't judge me. Fuck off. So a lot of the airmen were. Well, let me go back a little. It's pretty boy, and nobody ever thought that I knew maintenance, but I had done more maintenance on aircraft than most of the motherfuckers had ever dreamed of. And brisket, phenomenal. Smoked it for 13 hours. Want to have some? Come on over. I'm telling you, let's do this. Um, but we definitely, it was a lot of work. B-1s are a hell of a beast. I think they're one of the aircraft that I did the most work on. So these guys legitimately had this little take on me because I came in, and I always did major work. I always did, whatever I needed to do. And, I had come from different platforms, but these guys didn't know me. These guys just thought, oh, this dude's just a fucking, just a normal little fucking guy coming in, and he looks all pretty. Like, this dude's going to get fucking dirty. We're going to make him get dirty. I remember specifically working on under the aircraft of a B-1. We were cutting out some hydro lines and stuff. And this this one guy had always talked, Joe Fuller, fuck you. Um, he definitely always talked about, like getting me under and stuff. And I had heard rumors after the fact. Not really heard rumors, but I heard about what happened. Um, but he would get I'm gonna keep this up because I don't want people to just think that I'm going for Beto. But he would definitely get us to or get people to work under there, start cutting some hydro lines, and there would still be a lot of residual because this thing held like gallons upon gallons to run this aircraft. And if it wasn't all sucked out, well, there was obviously still residual because it would come down. And this is the area that we would cut it. So we'd cut it and just a few gallons would pour out. So I'm there and they were like, hey, we need you guys to do this. And they were all trying to set me up, trying to get me all fucking soaked and stuff. And thinking that the pretty boy that I was just going to, I was going to end up getting wet and dirty and, everybody's just going to have a fun time on my expense. Get out there, start working, start pushing through some stuff. About to cut this line, and right when I cut the line, I just put my hand on it, and then just let it drip down my arm, and then opened it up. It came around, didn't even get dirty, didn't even get a fucking single speck on my fucking uniform. And he's just looking at me like, oh fuck. And I think instantly that respect of, oh, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing, came into play. And from then on, it just became routine, man. Like, these guys had a lot of respect for me. And he was the one that would typically fucking, play the jokes on people. So when it backfired on him, he was just like, oh shit, like, this dude knows what the fuck he's doing. And then it just kind of changed the momentum from there. It changed the mood. And everybody's like, oh, okay, so this dude's good. This dude knows what the fuck he's doing. And so that made it my life. I was kind of accepted. And then went into Christmas time, and I remember vividly, I got my boy Dirty Sanchez really fucked up on soju, and I got everybody else fucked up on soju. And there were stories about that night, and then there was just fucking stories upon stories of everything that happened after that. I became really good in with all the dudes, and from going TDY to busting our ass. I mean, we were always on 12s or something because these motherfuckers were always broke. I remember one time this was towards the end. I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day, but me and a group of guys went out to the strip club at the time. My ex-wife, we were together and stuff. But we had gone out to like a whole bunch of other places first. We had gone out to play pool. That was our intent. We went out to, hang out, have fun. And we ended up taking our boy Justin Shep. He ended up going home. And my ex was trying to call me, and I wasn't answering my phone. Well, she had called over to Justin's house, and Justin's mom was there. She called Justin's mom, and Justin was like, yeah, Justin's here, he's asleep. And so she drove over there and woke him up. In the middle of the sleep, he fucking woke up and dimed us all out. Said that we were at Cloud 9. Fuck, that was the name of the place, fucking Cloud 9. And I'll fucking never forget. She gets there. She is pissed. And I'm just chilling, having my fucking beer. She fucking texts me and finally fucking went in and fucking came out. And it was a fucking huge ordeal. Because I was with a group of guys. I was actually with Justin's brother there too. But I got the threat. You can fucking come now or you're never fucking coming home. Like, you're not fucking sleeping. My dumb ass was like, fuck yeah. And I tried to tell her, let me tell the boys, like, this is what's going on. Nope. She was pissed because we were fucking Cloud 9. Come on. Best strip club in Tucson. Or in Dias, in Abilene. Actually, it wasn't. There was Jags, but don't worry about that. So I took off, and all the dudes that I was with, like Frankie and Chad and Clay and all them, were fucking looking up and down. Apparently, they fucking went into every fucking private room, everything, looking for me, fucking yelling out my name, find me. Holy shit! What a fucking night, man. I remember waking up the next day. It was probably like halfway through the day, if not like fucking towards the afternoon. I was fucked up as it was. And these dudes had blown up my phone. My phone had probably died. I turned it on. All these messages, missed messages. I mean, I had to explain to these dudes, and then I found out that fucking Justin or fucking Shep fucking narked on me. I was like, what the fuck? I wasn't even pissed. It was just one of those fucking amazing times. And Dias was just a fun, loving fucking time. Everybody was, the camaraderie was there was probably the best that I've ever had in a location. Maybe other than Korea. Because in Korea, we did stupid shit. We just fucking had a blast. Um, but in Dias, it was like we were always hanging out. We were always doing something. I mean, I remember when, uh, you know, I went over to QA and did some stuff there. But when I was leaving QA, we went down to Arlington to go see a Rangers game for my going away. And talk about, man, fucking Jimmy Reed and fucking uh, Drake Jennings can talk about this one. Um, we had Timmy D. We had fucking just this big old black. Well, you can only imagine. And they took it and they gave it to me, and they gave me it going away as a Yeti. And in the middle of that going away, they shoved it right in there. I think there's still video of it. I think Brody's got video of it. But as they're giving me my going away gift, it's a thing, an ice chest with some beer in it. Well, I thought, well, they fucking played a little joke. Told me to grab the beer. I grabbed it, and it was just a lubed up, well, whatever. So I ended up pulling it out, and it's just this massive, you can imagine. And so when we had my going away party, we went up to Arlington for an evening, and I ended up staying a few days, but there was like 20 of us, and we called it Timmy D, and we could stick it onto windows, and we could stick it onto wherever that it would just stick onto. And I remember sticking it onto Hester's fucking his Camaro right in the front and calling his fucking car a unicorn, man. It was just fucking hilarious. Just this big old black fucking thing, man. And we ended up going to the game, having fun. Our old chief had a sign that said "Vote for Pedro," and he got a whole section. He almost got the whole fucking stadium to say "Vote for Pedro" like during the fucking game. It was a fucking blast. I mean, I got tons of pictures. Everett was there, fucking Bellotta, and all these dudes just having a blast, just doing stupid shit. Then afterwards, we ended up fucking a couple strip clubs and just buffoonery. I mean, having a blast. That's what it was about. It was about being around the boys and just chilling and joking. And then, I ended up leaving there, and I went to Korea. And Korea was it was a good fucked up time. Got there, started finding my way, started doing my thing. Um, and in February, I got in a little bit of trouble. It wasn't anything crazy. It was for curfew. And before that, I was having a hell of a time. I always, I was dealing with going through a divorce and everything else. So um, I was a little down, a little depressed, and kind of drinking my sorrows away. And I had a couple good boys that would take care of me, but then it just became kind of shitty. And so one day I went out, and we were back in our hotels well before curfew. Passed out, woke up, couldn't find my phone, and I didn't even look at the time, and I just went back out. I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was still early. It wasn't. The army busted me, and fucking, I was made an example of, which is fine. Everything happens for a reason, and I got out because of it. Not really out. I was still able to retire and all, but I wanted to do 24, 26, 28, 30 years. Who knows? Who knows where my career would have been? I would have probably still been in the military right now. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad everything happened for that reason. Um, I'm able to be here with my family. That divorce was going through, or we were going through that separation / divorce, and I'm here now. I get to coach my kids' softball team. I get to see my son's baseball games, be there for school 50-50, the whole works, joke with them, play with them, laugh with them. See my son, he's already talking about his girlfriend, and she calls him Nugget, so I started calling him Nug Nug. You know, just fucking just that type of shit. Anyway, I kind of went a little sidetracked on that one. Um, but yeah, it was a pretty dark time in my career. You know, coming off of a high from practically, if I would have stayed at Dias or stayed in Texas, I would have promoted next cycle. I would have been an E8 and then potentially E9. And who knows? I wouldn't be doing this shit. I wouldn't have a beard right now. I'd be clean shaved and still in the military, fucking doing some bullshit. Um, but it was kind of a dark time because after that I went into some shit moods. I went into some depression, and I know my stuff. I know my stuff really well. I know how to lead. I know how to just do everything. Like you fucking name it. I know how to work. Whatever. Military wise, I was on point. I was trying to advance and do everything that I needed to do, and that fucking derailed everything. So you can imagine going from potentially this prominent career to getting deflated, and I fell into a deep, deep depression there. I had somebody really help me out, and when she helped me out, it was like I needed help. She definitely pulled me out of some dark spots, and then I moved on from there. I continually did what I needed to do. The same guy, the same colonel that took my stripe, sent me TDY to a couple different places. I did a few things, and boom, I fucking got coined a couple times, threw them motherfuckers away. But it was like, bro, I saved your fleet and I saved a couple of aircraft, fucking other shits, and this was like I couldn't even get my stripe back. I couldn't even do anything, So I was like, I had a sour taste in my mouth, and it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to the guys that I was working with because at the time I was like, fuck this, man. And I will admit I became a disgruntled NCO. And for those of you guys who know me at that period of time, I apologize because I was a fucking dick. Like if I didn't fucking care for you, I didn't fucking give two fucks about you. Um, there was a few folks that I almost beat the shit out of. I probably would have gotten in trouble again in Korea had it not been for, Omar and Fanbam who pulled me off a dude. Um, but hey, here I am. I had that whole past, like I could talk about it now and laugh, but before I used to get really upset because I was like, "Fuck no, man! I wanted to be an E8, I wanted to be an E9, and I wanted to continue my career." And nah, fuck it. I, I wouldn't be able to have all this shit. Just or the things that I do now. I mean, I still work on base. I still, run people, so I'm not worried about it now. And so I leave out of Korea with a couple good things that came out of it, and I get into you know here at Davis Monthan, and I have a year and a half left. Not very far, not very much. And that year and a half led me to realize like I'm short, man. Fuck this. Um, I ended up deploying within that time frame. A lot of stuff was going on. I was going through that divorce with the divorce process and the paperwork and everything. It took a couple years to get done, 2.5 to be exact, because it was two years, 8 months, and it was because of some other stuff. But while I was deployed, it changed my perspective, and instead of wanting to be deployed again, I was at the point because I always volunteered, and as I said in the previous episodes, I always volunteered, and I always made it a point that I want to go everywhere. I want to do everything. I want to see everything. I want to just have fun, whether it's fun or not. And while I was deployed this last time, or the last time, it was 2017, 2018. I definitely had a sense of I'm done. I'm fucking done with this. And they say when you're in the military and you get to that point where you're just like absolutely fucking done, you know it. Like one day you just wake up. I remember I was in my tent in Turkey, and I woke up and I had to walk about a quarter mile to go take a piss because I lived on the very back end of the tents. And I was because I got up to piss middle of my night. I'm walking. I look around. Why the fuck am I here? The smells, the sights. It was still early morning, so you can hear the distant prayers. And I just thought to myself, why the fuck am I doing this? Where's this leading me to? This isn't what I want. I want to be around my kids. I want to be around my family. I want to see them. I want to be able to, watch them play baseball. I want to be able to see them do things. I want the activities. And these kids were still young, 8 and 5, 8 and 6 at the time. I got back home, and I surprised my daughter at school, and she was in kindergarten, and it was the best feeling in the world. And so while I was there, it was just one of those things where I was like, man, I really, really need to just fucking be done. And that's kind of what led it, because I probably could have gotten an extension for two years, and then they ended up opening it up to where you can stay a little longer, and then I probably could have gotten promoted because I missed promotion. My one chance that I had before I got out, I missed it by probably not even 20, and that's not even trying because I didn't give a fuck. But I probably could have. I probably could have stayed. I probably could have, continued on. I don't want that life anymore. I don't want to deal with it. And it's absolutely true what they say. You wake up one day and you're just like, fuck it, I'm done. Like, I am done. Like, fucking, it's time to go. And it's fared well for me. I'm able to see my kids, quite a bit. I'm coaching softball. I'm coaching, I get to see my kid play baseball. But I'm here with my kids every day. Do I still miss the traveling and the fucking deployments and everything? Yeah, sometimes I do. I mean, I as a military member who did 20 years, if you ever meet somebody that says that they weren't or they're not, they don't miss it, they're full of shit. If they did 20 years, they obviously missed something of it. And those 20 years are a big chunk of your life. I was in the military more time than I was out of the military because I joined at 18. So it made it really rough when I did retire. Because I'm going to tell you right now, especially those that haven't retired yet, everybody goes through an identity crisis. You go from knowing people, and not saying that you still don't know people, but you go from knowing people to absolutely you don't have that network when you go home, or you don't have that network when you go to work. Civilian sector is a fucking crazy thing because it's nowhere near like um, like the military. I can go in, bust my ass, but at the end of the day, we're fucking joking, laughing, talking shit. Or bust your ass and you feel like you fucking let it all out on the line. And then you gotta wake up and do it again. From fucking PT to all the fucking medical appointments to get you ready for deployments, um, to just the basic bullshit of fucking of training. And Texas Twinkies are fucking amazing. And like I said, I do miss it. I do miss certain aspects of it. But when I get to see my kids grow, and everything happens for a reason, and I believe in that. And as time goes on, as I have guests on, you'll understand the little stories, the little nuances, and you'll hear their reasons. And you'll hear when they say, I was done. I was fucking done. Because I got tons of friends that I've talked to that that last moment, they just wake up and they're still fucking gun ho. They're still ready to fucking go out there and do the things that they do. They're still ready to fucking be trained killers and everything. And then they just wake up one day and they're just like, I'm fucking done. I'm done. And that's the way I felt. And I'm glad. I'm glad I did my 20 years. But I think it was all the bullshit at the end. But I will leave you with I wouldn't take it back for anything in the world. Great experiences, great people, and this is what this is about. Because I think next week is when I'm gonna start having a little buddy sit right here, and we're gonna just fucking go through. I don't know, maybe I'll make some ribs. I know I was gonna try some you know cross recipes and stuff, and I am. Um, this weekend was Father's Day weekend, and obviously my kids aren't gonna smoke a fucking brisket for me, so I decided I wanted fucking brisket and fucking some Texas Twinkies. Hmm. Things are amazing. Cream cheese, Kobe Jack cheese, bacon, jalapeno, and brisket. I wish I would have made some barbecue sauce to dip it in, and I didn't. Then that's my fault. I was more focused on the brisket than anything else. I think as this goes through, the prep will be a little bit easier and a little bit better. But I was 12 hours to do a brisket and everything else. You guys know, you know. But I'll leave you with this. I had a great time in Monterey, and the stories that I want to hear from people, the things that I want to do, the things that I want to talk about. I'm excited for it. Several people, probably a good 20 people, 25 people, have reached out to me saying they want me to go visit, go hang out, and go do this with them. And I'm down. I'm fucking down. God, this pickle beer is fucking good. Oh, I taste the spice now. And I'm down because the stories that I'll be able to tell, or the things that I'll be able to remember, just off of what they talk about, can be helpful and therapeutic. Not for me, but for somebody else. Fuck it. Who cares? I don't care. I care about fucking having a good time and telling some fucking stories and drinking some fucking beer and cracking open some more and then just eating some good fucking food, having some fucking Texas Twinkies. I'll make Texas Twinkies for any motherfucker. You make me a brisket and I'll make everything else. The hardest part is the brisket. Maybe I'll try something different. Pulled pork. Nah, fuck that. Not the same. Ribs, cut off the fucking pork, throw it in there. That might be an idea. But I'm reaching out to these people, seeing when I can schedule. I think in October, I think I want to try to go to Florida, maybe see Campbell, maybe see Jared, maybe see a couple other people that I definitely, um, definitely would like to visit and do this with. So we'll see. Anyway, sorry to keep taking up some of your time. I could ramble on and on and on. I think you guys fucking know. Cheers. Happy Father's Day. And a little disclaimer, and I know it's a little late, but sorry. There's no holds bar on this. Enjoy yourselves. Take care. Tell me your stories. I might even get Chuck Salter in here. You'll see. Um, but I appreciate it. Thank you. And as this progresses, I'll have recipes. I'll throw recipes on there. But you can also send me recipes and say, hey, fucking try this and throw it on your fucking, on your podcast. And if you own a brewery, if are talking about owning a brewery, or you want to fucking, wherever you're at, let me know. I'll have some beers with you. I'll bring your beers on here. Look at that. Grand Canyon. Fucking great beer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. For you fathers, happy Father's Day. For you mothers, take care of all those guys. Love you guys. See you soon. Talk to you next weekend. Cheers.